So myself and Bertie have been doing some work recently on looking at motivation, and I wanted to talk today about the power of motivation in the conversion funnel and how powerful motivation can be in increasing the likelihood of conversion. So when a user enters a site, they arrive with a certain level of motivation, and different users enter that site with different levels of motivation. So some users, the big green guy, will already have decided what they want to buy, and it's just a case of going through the process. The guy in red probably has little motivation, so they might just be looking to do some research, or they might be early on in their purchase cycle. And as users interact with a website, their level of motivation can either increase or decrease, depending on the usability of that website. And usability can be likened to hurdles that the user needs to jump. So the more hurdles a user needs to jump, the less motivation they're going to have. And ultimately, if they have to jump too many hurdles, they're going to stop and they're going to turn around. Now, highly motivated users are more likely to jump more hurdles. Now, I'm sure everyone in here has bought something from a website that's been a really poor experience, but you've persisted and you've gone through that purchase regardless because you were motivated and it's something that you wanted to buy. I know recently I bought some furniture from a website that took me about 20 minutes to get through the checkout process, but I pushed on and I did it because I'd spent about a month before agreeing with my other half what furniture we were going to buy, and I didn't want to have to go through that again, so I pushed on. But to expand on this, a company called MechLabs created an equation to try and predict the likelihood of someone converting. So they looked at motivation, value proposition, incentive, friction, and customer anxiety. And what it showed is that motivation plays a bigger factor than some of the other elements, as was sort of shown by the fact that people will push on through poor usability if they're motivated enough. So how do we increase motivation? So there are a couple of categories that I've created to try and categorize some of the factors we can use. We've got accomplishment, freedom, connectedness, and growth, and I'll give some examples of these. So accomplishment can be power, recognition, success, sense of achievement, or earning respect. And the work that Sport England did with the This Girl Can campaign embodies this. So it's a campaign which aimed to motivate women to get involved in sport, and it did it by sharing stories and successes of others. So it inspired women to go out and achieve success for themselves. Freedom can be choice, the ability to customize something, or the freedom of time. So Nike ID, Oliver, one for you. I don't know if you've ever used this, but it gives the ability for you to customize your trainers and make something your own. And the ability to make decisions and control outcomes empowers the user. Another good example of that is O2 refresh. So normally a phone contract will tie you in and be very restrictive, whereas O2 refresh allows you to update your phone at any time. You can just trade in your phone, and it gives the choice back to the user to change their mind if they want to. Connectedness can be an emotional connection, contextual, involvement, history, or trust. And a company that aligns, for instance, a company that aligns themselves as eco-friendly is going to motivate a user that has that as their beliefs or passions as well. And a great example of this is, for instance, Lego. So history and trust with Lego. So much of Lego's success is due to nostalgia and people being connected with their childhood and wanting to be connected with their childhood. So they will buy Lego again for their children when they're older because they want to, they've got that nostalgia there. And lastly, growth. So it could be personal growth or business growth. And the CRM base weaves this in quite nicely to their copy by saying that it will help boost B2B sales, easily focus on the most productive tasks, allow you to easily focus on the most productive tasks, and it promises to make the salesperson's job easier, make them more effective, and help the business grow. So there are some ways that, and some factors that you can use to motivate users to increase motivation as they interact with a website, but it doesn't just have to be on site. So any interaction with a brand is an opportunity to increase motivation, especially some of the upper funnel stuff. So whether writing title tags or meta descriptions, whether it's paid search ad copy, display ads, or content pieces, they're all opportunities to increase motivation.